approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
This is Don King talking about panel about Bruno and Tyson, but give the common man the raise he so richly deserves. Don't lose him. Don't be standing on the dock of the bay when the ship is out to sea and the common man is on board. You better get on board. Don't be there crying and whining. Get him and keep him. Give him the raise that he deserves.
I'm always hesitant to believe what I read. You know what I mean? I think that still it comes down to society. Many times people are forced to believe what they read, and many times what you read might or may not be true.
You are the ambassador, Common Man, and I felt Joe was way out of line just throwing that out there.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
You find this funny, Mr. Grove? You're smiling. Do you find this humorous? No, they're not. Do you find this humorous, Mr. Grove? You're laughing and smiling. I'm just wondering if you do. You didn't answer my question, Mr. Grove. Do you find this humorous?
No, I find it keeping the 4 years.
At least you're not smiling and laughing now. Oh, I guess you're back at it again now.
Yes, I do!
That sounds like a heck of a concert, actually. I might want to go to that.
How about a beer?
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
The run begins when? Well, in 5 actually. 3 sounds like more than 4, 2, 1. Greetings, good afternoon, and ack, to you and yours. I'm the common man, Dan Cole. And this is the worst all sports radio station in the country, so says a former employee who funny was fired from here. Ack, and ack is your what? Well, it's your password for tomfoolery and skullduggery. It will also gain you admittance into a meeting of the Loyal Order of Water Buffalo. Ooh la la, ooh la la. I'm a radio dinosaur. The fan is my La Brea tar pit. Someday archaeologists and paleontologists will be sifting through the rubble that is 1600 Utica Avenue South, and guess what? They'll stumble across my skeletal remains and my cold, dead, rigor mortis-laden lips attached to this Electro Voice RE27. First time since we've replaced the Neumann, that's 6 months ago, that I remembered it was an Electro Voice RE27, lips attached, cold, dead, rigor mortis-laden. They'll say, egad, a social commentator with an archaic communication device. It's a snowy Wednesday. I'm Common. He's Tennessee. Mark Rosen at 2. And the Minnesota State High School hockey tournament. You know, Tennessee, every time we get a tournament, it brings a snowstorm.
Yeah, every time.
Every time. Isn't that weird? I wonder how that can be. Do you think if they moved the Minnesota State Boys High School basketball tournament to June, we would get a snowstorm in June? Do you think that would happen, or do you think it's just a coincidence? Well, I was a kick to the scrotum this morning, wasn't it? Wow. You know what? My wife, She has to be at work at 6:45. So guess what time I had to get up to do the to blow the snow today? Because here's what they said as I'm reading the forecast: heavy wet snow. You ever try to blow heavy wet snow and it gets clogged inside the auger?
Yes.
And the like the chute removal thing. Oh, it can take you like 4 hours, But it wasn't that heavy. I was able to still took me about an hour to do the driveway today. So I
had to do mine twice.
Yes.
Because I finished it, but the street hadn't been plowed yet.
Correct.
And then when the street came through, the plow came through, that snow was up to my waist.
Yeah. Oh, was it that deep?
Oh.
Yeah.
It was very high.
How much I tweeted this morning. First of all, I tweeted most wonderful time of the year, and there's the snow, and then I tweeted a picture of me blowing snow. I also tweeted a picture. I had a ruler out. It was more than a foot in Woodbury. Now, again, that's probably because of some drifting, but I dug right through the driveway on the first pass, and then I measured it. It was over a foot. I don't know what the official total
You've got to be kidding me.
Is going to be, but I wasn't real happy about it. Game 1, Class A quarterfinal, defending state champ St. Cloud Cathedral, my wife's alma mater, leads the Matamidi Zephyrs. They're the 7 seed, Teneby.
Yes. I believe this is the first year they've actually seeded all 8.
Because wasn't it 1 through 4?
They're 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
And then the other 3 would get random.
Get rando, as we say, but they are all seeded now.
Because they didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Correct. Cathedral played Matamidi. It is 1-0, and there's just under 9 minutes to go in the second period. We'll keep you posted on that. Teneby, you played high school hockey. I did. Did you ever play in the state high school tournament?
I did not.
How close did you get? Did your team ever get one win away? Or
not close enough.
Really?
We got knocked out in the semis, both my junior and senior year. Okay. Section semis.
What section were you?
I don't even remember. We changed sections between my junior and senior year, so I don't remember the number.
But you played Totino.
Yes.
What teams were in your section? Was there who was the team you couldn't get past?
So my junior year, we lost to Matamidi.
The Zephyrs.
Yep. And it was one of those where I think we were the 2 seed, they were the 3 seed, and right before us, the 1 seed had gotten upset. No. So we're thinking, man, we win this game, we're going to the state tournament, you know?
You got a little ahead of yourselves.
Oh, we definitely, because they whooped us. I think they beat us 5-0 in that game.
Wow, 5-0.
Yeah. And then my junior year, we lost to St. Louis Park.
Okay. Rosen's alma mater, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never got to state either. Well, state penitentiary, but that's a whole other different thing, right? I mean, that's it's not really any place you really want to go. Here on the air staff, I mean, of the Nautical 9, I call them. You know why? Because we're just barely staying afloat. The Nautical 9, which would be the 3 on the Power Trip Morning Show, and then the next 3 shows, I'll have 2 main people, the host and sidekick. I don't know the background of everybody as far as their high school athletic careers, but we know Guardsy won at least 1 Minnesota State Boys High School.
That's what's been reported.
And it's been reported. He claims 2. I don't know. I've never seen it Rat Road anywhere. So would he? I mean, he's probably. And I know Gorg, but he's really not part of our staff. He's a contributor. I'm talking about the full-time guys here. Would that be the only guy?
Not a lot of great athletes here. Yeah.
Would that be? Well, I could have been, except I instead of staying on the straight and narrow, I went down the long and winding road. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was a great athlete, though I played both sides of the ball in football. I was a fierce pass rushing, rocket Gibraltar run stopping defensive lineman, and precise route running, sure, and a pass catching tight end. I don't think Barrera won any state titles in anything. I don't think PA, or maybe PA did. I don't know. Nordo? Any of the morning show guys? Any of those guys? What's the word I'm looking for? Excel in any sports that you're aware of?
I think Mitsas played a little high school football. I think hockey did as well. But I don't know if I could say they excelled.
Well, I think Sauce was a tackling dummy. I think is what he was. The coach said, "Go out there and tackle, dummy."
They actually named the tackling dummy after him.
They did. That's the material I've been writing for Tommy Olson, though, but apparently he's not going to. He can't work the 21st.
Oh.
He wants to hang with his buddies and watch NCAA basketball up in St. Cloud and drink. That or drown in flop sweat. Which one would you rather do? And apparently he would rather be with his buddies, so he's not going to be in. But that was one of the lines I wrote for him. He could say, so Jerry Kills, because I asked him, I said, no, you didn't play under Fleck, right? You were long gone by then. He said, yeah, I played under Kill. So I said that one of the jokes I wrote for him was that Kill goes, Coach said, go out there and tackle somebody, dummy. And so then he went out there and he tackled the tackling dummy. I was workshopping.
Yeah.
I don't have it exactly yet, but that's where we're working for. That's for Tommy Olson. And then Gorg, you say, won a state championship with Burnsville, right?
As a goalie, yeah.
God, how cool is
Early
that?
80s.
How cool is that to win it all? Parrish won it all, did he? With Bloomington Jefferson?
I think he had to have.
Had to have, right?
I know he was on the tail end of the Bloomington Jefferson run, but I'm assuming he got one in there.
And then Trent Tucker, my guess is he's won
NBA championships.
He won an NBA title. That's pretty good. I mean, I guess that's of the people that contribute to the radio station on a regular basis, he was been the most successful. When you win an NBA title, you can't now. And for me, it was first place, sack race, blue ribbon, Adams Elementary School, track and field day. That was my highlight for me. At least I finished first in something, Tempe. So there you go. A lot of controversial topics to get to. Controversial Vikings news other side of the break. We'll take our peek at the purple. And then, I tweeted out that picture of me blowing snow, and I've heard that others here on the radio station today were talking about their plow services. So I came up with a little bit here, Tennessee. I think we've done something like this before. We're going to take a deeper dive, though. Speaking of the air staff, what do you think of some of the things every man should know? How many of these chores or tasks or skills do all of us have? I think it'll raise some interesting issues and maybe
Cathedral just scored.
Cathedral scored. Can you hit the goal horn? We used to do that all the time. Remember? Do you still have it? We used to at the I've had my eye on the Schmidt kid for a long time, by the way, just so you know.
You and Rosen.
Rosen had his eye on, what was the kid?
Alex Tuck, and then who's the Timberwolves player?
The Timberwolves.
Jalen Clark or something like that?
I had my eyes on this Schmidt kid. I mean, this was all by himself, Tennessee. He just brought it in, did a little...
Top shelf.
Yeah, top shelved it, and it's now 2 Zippo Cathedral leads. We'll come back with more after this here on The Fan.
Welcome to the Perfect Night, Minneapolis. Simple Plan is coming to the Armory August 19th with special guest Bowling for Soup, 303 and Lolo. Don't miss out on the night of nostalgic early 2000s anthems. Tickets are on sale now. Get all the details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 passed. When Tommy Olson first met his soon-to-be wife, there were a lot of people that questioned her motives, and she turned out to be a maroon and gold digger, is what she turned out to be. Who do you think wrote that line, Tennessee?
More Amsterdam guy?
You are correct, but it's very good, and that might work.
Is it?
Well, I think it is. I mean, I think Tommy could do that. And my wife, she ended up being a maroon and gold digger.
You do Tommy better than Tommy does Tommy, and he's Tommy.
That's it. Well, maybe, he pulled out of the Flop Sweat and Tear show on the 21st. He'd rather drink and watch NCAA basketball than drown in flop sweat. Maybe I could just do Tommy. Maybe that could be it. He's still there. It's, watch Dan Cole do Tommy Olson. Maybe we could do that. But nonetheless, Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. They are your old home specialists. They're familiar with old wiring, things like, I wasn't even aware of this till I talked to Nick. There's knob and tube, cloth-covered wiring, aluminum and older fuse boxes, and they understand their limitations and the potential safety concerns that come with them. Let them thoroughly inspect your older home's electrical system, assess the condition, identify any problems, and take corrective measures. That would be Affordable Electric. They're easy to reach. Affordable-electric.com. Shockingly affordable. So, Saquon went for, what was his deal again, Teneby? What did he get? Do you remember the exact numbers?
It was like 2 years, $40 or $41 million. It's the first $20 million running back.
So the first $20 million running back, I don't know if he's going to be the last $20 million quarterback. Where did my line? Here, here it is. I don't think anybody's going to surpass him anytime soon, unless they have some kind of a breakout year this season. But he becomes the as you mentioned, the highest paid ever. Is this right though? I didn't realize there were guys making even close to that. This story that I found says McCaffrey makes $19 million a year. Is that true? I'm looking at a CBS Sports story. I rely on CBS Sports. Annual average salary for Saquon Barkley, $20,600. McCaffrey, $19 million.
Yep, he signed 2 year, $38 million. Okay. So, yeah.
So, see, I didn't realize, I didn't think anybody was even close to that. I thought he was going to dwarf everyone.
The drop-off from McCaffrey to the next was Jonathan Taylor, who's making 14 a year. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Then Alvin Kamara, who runs like there's no tomorrow, he makes $12,250,000. Does he have anything left? Is he Charch's new Saquon Barkley? Or not? Because I don't even.
I think he's still okay. Yeah. I think he had some injury stuff going on this year.
Okay. Jacobs for Green Bay at 12, and then after that it goes down to Joe Mixon. He's just shy of 10. James Conner with the Cardinals, just shy of 10. He's at 9.5. David Montgomery for the Detroit Lions is at $900,000. Same with Ramondre Stevenson. And I'd rather have Ramondre Stevenson on my fantasy team than I would Saquon Barkley, because I think Barkley's toast.
He's cooked.
He's cooked. That's what it is. He's cooked. I have no idea who Chuba Hubbard.
He just signed his deal because he had a relatively successful season with Carolina this year.
$8.3 million. My story stops at that point. What was our guy Aaron Jones? Was he like 7?
He was at 7.
He's at 7.
Derrick Henry was 8 this year. How about that?
Are you serious?
Yeah, what a steal.
We could have had him. I encouraged the Vikings to go out and sign him and Saquon, but they didn't listen to me. Maybe they'll change their tune now. Aaron is a free agent, correct?
Yes.
What do you think he would get on the open market? Do you think he gets a raise from that? And if he does, it's not going to be monumental.
Well, last year when he got his $7 million, there were a lot of good running backs on the market, right? You had, obviously you had Saquon Barkley, you had Joe Mixon, you had Josh Jacobs, all the guys you've talked about before, Derrick Henry. So he was kind of like
almost an
5th or 6th on the pecking order. I'd have to look at who the free agents that are out there are now.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling there's not going to be as much out there. But like I've said before, this is a big-time running back draft. And running backs is a position where you can contribute right away. So I do feel like these guys aren't going to get a ton in free agency because, why would you spend money on that running back when you can get one who's younger, maybe even better, maybe the same, and you can get him in the 4th round of the draft?
The Vikings are sort of kind of caught, though, right? Because as we speak, they have 4 draft picks. They got their number 1. They've got the compensatory for Cousins. That'll be the first pick of the 4th round or last pick of the 3rd, however you want to. If you're being more optimistic, you say last pick of the 3rd. If you have the glass half empty, you say 1st or the 4th, and then they have 2 5ths. That can change, as we know. They could do the old trade the 1 and get a couple, trade down a little bit, grab a 2nd, or I don't know. I don't know what you can get for the 20. I guess it depends. The team that would be interested in trading you probably wants to be in that spot specifically because there's a guy they want and think he might be gone. And then, what would historically tend to be, I should be asking Sauce this because, as everyone knows, Rosen will tell you that Sauce is a National Football League draft expert. But what do you think you could get for if the Vikings decided, because of the lack of picks and so many different places to fill, and I know they got the free agency and all that, but what do you think you could get for the 24th pick overall? Could you get I suppose you can get somebody else's one.
There's always a team that's at like 28.
Right.
And you move down 4 slots and you gain a 3rd round pick or something on top of it, right?
So That's a
Or
possibility.
obviously, the farther you move down,
yeah,
the more you'll get in return.
Because the reason I ask is unless they decide to go out, and again, what does the free agent running back class look like right now? I don't have it in front of me. But either you I guess you re-sign Aaron Jones, and then I don't know if you want who's the guy we've had now 2 or 3 years in a row. Why can't I think of his name? Played for the Rams for all those years. We had him. We let him go. He came back last year.
Cam Akers.
Akers. We have Akers, and then.
So I'm looking at there's like an NFL trade value chart that you can find online.
All right.
And they have like a point system associated with each pick.
Okay.
The Vikings pick 24 is worth 740 points.
Okay.
Let's say Buffalo at pick 30. So 6 picks down. Their pick is worth 620. So there's 120 difference.
Okay.
120 is worth like pick 95. So, late third round.
Okay.
So, you could drop back 6 picks and grab a third rounder out of it.
Yeah.
Or a late third rounder.
And, that might be the way. I mean, obviously what they have going for them is they have plenty of money under the cap. So they can fill some needs via free agency, but that's always more expensive than draft picks that are working under rookie deals, right? And even though it is a deep running back class, I don't know if the Vikings, I'm not afraid to draft a running back in the first round. Look what Detroit did. They did it with Gibbs, and he might become one of the highest paid running backs. I don't know how many more years he has on his rookie deal, but he could become one of the highest paid running backs in pro football, probably will. But if you're the Vikings, you almost feel like I don't want to say stuck with Jones because he's a talented kid, but it's like, well, that's the best we're going to do because you have so many other needs, particularly in both offensive and defensive lines in the secondary. I just don't know what you can do running back wise, but that's why they pay those guys the big bucks, as we like to say. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric, affordable-electric.com.
Oh, go ahead.
They're shockingly affordable.
I was just going to add one thing to the running back thing.
Okay.
Because the draft is so heavy with running backs, even if you don't get one, I do think there are going to be some quality running backs that come August are getting cut from their teams because they're going to go with the younger options. So you might be able to get someone for a bargain, and you just have to wait a while. You got to be patient.
So Derrick Henry could get cut.
I'm not ready to go that far.
And then maybe Saquon Barkley gets cut because he's toast as far as I'm concerned. So maybe we get one of those guys. So we'll have to wait and see.
I think there's going to be some surprise running back names that are available that we didn't know, that aren't available now, that'll be available in August.
Well, let's take a break and come back with a little Adistat Lad here on the Fan. I love this piece of bumper music.
It's Tourney time, and you can watch all the state championship action on 45 TV or by downloading the KSTP app on your smart TV, or head over to our contest page for your chance to win all sessions tickets for this week's boys hockey tournament to catch the action in person. I'd like to have that. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter.
KFAN owns Zacho will be doing the call here on is it the Fan Plus, K102? I asked him. I saw him today. He said he starts tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So where are we streaming that game? Where will that?
That'll be on KFAN Plus.
KFAN Plus. We'll be able to do live listening with Zacho.
Sure. Looks like they'll all be on KFAN Plus tomorrow and Friday, and then the championship games on Saturday will be on the Fan.
Sweet. And then, by the way, for those wondering, I have some breaking news for you, Tennessee. Lou Nanny will not, for the first time in 60 years, will be not doing the Minnesota State High School boys hockey tournament. I always love that one. I just wanted to break that news for you in case you were wondering. I wanted to be on top of that so people know what to expect. Who does it with Zacho?
I am not sure.
It's not you.
No, I did not get the invite.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Guy knows, without question, of the Nautical Nine, the most accomplished hockey player, right? And yet you're not on the call. Seems almost egregious to me. But I also heard that Paul Allen is going to do a Timberwolves game.
Yes, I did hear that as well.
How many basketball games has he done? 0. I've done hundreds.
Hundreds?
Hundreds of them. Why am I not taken seriously?
Both of us.
Both of us. Yeah. Why aren't you taking it seriously? No respect at all. That would be like if we had the Boys State High School tennis tournament on. They asked Sinekin to do the analyst instead of JG, right? It seems ridiculous why you're not there. Oh, well. It is what it is.
I'd still like to do it the next 2 days if get someone to sit in with you.
Yeah. Who's sitting in with you Monday? How about I pick Monday and Tuesday to play golf, take days off. Baby brother Peter's coming back for spring break. We want to play golf, and we get a foot of snow. However, I called, we're planning to play Monday up at Refuge in Oak Grove. Kevin Norby designed golf course. Been around about, I bet it's 20 plus years now. 25 years. Been around a long time up in Oak Grove. Really good golf course. I called up there, the guy, Josh, Refuge, Josh, I'm wondering how much snow you get. None, we're open today. Tee time starting at 10.
What?
I go, well, yeah, he was just trying to get me going. I go, really? We had like a foot down. He goes, no, I'm kidding. We're not coming. We're not open today. Though he said only got a couple of inches. So he thinks they will be ready to go Monday. If they're not,
it's going to be warm this weekend, too.
BBP and I are getting in the car. We're going to Des Moines or something. I'm not taking days off and sit around the house and watching Oprah with BBP. We're going golfing one way or the other. I'd rather not have to drive to Des Moines. But I did check the weather for Kansas City. It's going to be in the 70s.
Lovely.
But drives, it's a long drive to play a few rounds of golf, though. I mean, I got to do it if it comes to that. And I don't think it's going to. We were between periods. We're not between periods anymore. We've started the third period. Cathedral in the opener, the lid lifter of the Class A. It's a quarterfinal match. As a matter of fact, it's the first tournament game of the season, boys. And it's 2-0 Cathedral just underway in the third period. And as you mentioned, I mean, it's been, if you go by sabermetrics and analytics by numbers, it's been fairly evenly matched. I think they both had like 15 shots on goal, and they've had almost the same amount of scoring chances.
Montemita is out shooting them 16-13.
16-13, and so, but it's been the
which is kind of refreshing because for the longest time in the Class A state tournament, I guess technically we still have time for this to be a rout, but day one of Class A state tournament has always just been, since they moved to the seeding format, it's one team that's really good against one team that doesn't have a chance.
Yes.
And the fact that Montemita is a 7 seed, even when not that I've watched Montemita this year, but you just know the program, the history of the program, the type of competition they have to face during the regular season when they're playing the Hill Murrays and the White Bear Lakes and Stillwater. So they've played some good AA competitions. You knew that they would be a tough out as a 7 seed. So that's a good thing to have lots of depth in this tournament.
Woke up this morning and they let me know it had snowed, and then so I went out with the snowblower I mentioned earlier. Had to my wife's got to be at work at 6:45, so I do up and at 'em really early in order to get the driveway cleared for her. And I took a picture of it and tweeted it out and said, "There goes the 7:38 tee time." Had almost 15,000 views, 14.8, which is good for me. I don't have the followers that a lot of the other main guys do, but I don't seek them out or beg for them, and I don't follow other people. Because if you follow, I think a lot of times you get more followers. Well, for one, you're more interesting and have more interesting things to say, and you're probably more regular on it, right? You're constantly feeding the Twitter monster. And then if you're following, 2, 3, 4, 500 people, those people's followers see some tweets of yours and you can increase it. But I got a number of responses to it, including, are you calling in sick now? Doing a do-over on this day? No, I'm not calling in sick. Faith Family Toro. Mine's not a Toro. Mine's a Simplicity. Where'd you hit it on? 1. Woodbury got biblical amounts of snow. Then there was this one. It tended to be that caught my eye. It said, this was from Matt replying. He said, real working man here. All your coworkers were talking about their plow services. And then he has, ha, 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 ha. It's cool to have a plow service. I mean, I just... I think I could afford one. My checking account's down to $65,000. I don't know that I'm admitting that, but I mean, I could afford one. That's one of those expenses that I don't feel is necessary, though snowplow services are great, and I'll endorse one if you want me to, and I'll start using you. But I don't mind blowing snow. I inherited a nice snowblower, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of gets me outside and gets me doing things.
It's a little exercise.
Get a little exercise too. And then I'm thinking to myself, how many, you blow your snow, right?
Yes.
How many people on the radio station, forget about if they do it, could they do it? Do you think Sauce if you put Sauce in front of a snowblower and said, get this thing started and clear your driveway, could he do it?
Well, I don't think they're that complicated. So
it's Sauce. Hawk could probably do it.
Hawk could do it.
You think Cove could do it? Nordo could.
Nordo could, yes.
PA?
No.
Barrero?
No chance.
No chance. JG could pull it off, probably, right? No? A Edina guy?
He did grow up in Edina and now lives in Minnetonka.
How about how many of these guys do you think are good at driving in the snow? Do you consider yourself a good driver in the snow?
I will say I went, I had never had an all-wheel drive vehicle till I think, was it 2 vehicles ago?
Okay.
And I will never go back again. That's like my main requirement on buying a car in Minnesota is it's all-wheel drive. Well, I won't buy one without it.
Well, back when we were growing up as kids, there were no such thing as there was no such thing as front-wheel drive, right? So all cars, Toronado in the mid to late 60s, Oldsmobile started making a front-wheel drive cars. I think I was one of the very first. So we used to drive the rear-wheel drive ones, and that's where it was fun to drive in the winter as long as you were careful, because like if on a day like today where there's snow-packed roads, when you're taking corners, you hit the gas a little bit and you get the back end to kick out and then spin back over and you correct it and such like that. We used to like to try to see if we could spin it and knock mailboxes down. So you spin that car, get that back end of the car out, bam, hit a mailbox, then kick it back over, spin real fast back over the other way. How many, I think I've asked this before, how many can drive a manual transmission? Can you?
I've told you before that I've never owned one.
But you know how to drive.
I have driven one for like a couple days.
Okay.
I could figure it out. I wouldn't be great at it.
Right, but you could figure it out. I
wouldn't be smooth.
I graduated from the Skid Barber Racing School, so no more need be said. Sauce?
No. Hockey, yes.
Cove?
No.
PA?
I feel like with kind of the older generation, you probably had more access to that.
Right.
So I'm thinking like PA and Barrero, maybe.
No, Barrero couldn't.
He can't?
Well, because he asked me one time if I could teach Liz Fours how to drive. You weren't around with him when Liz Fours was here. When she was she worked for us for a while. I was teaching her how to drive a stick shift over at the old, when we used to be over in the Norwest Bank building. I think she's over now, huh, Tenneby? Barring a miracle comeback by the Zephyrs, Cathedral scores again. It's now 3-0 Cathedral.
And it might have been shorthanded. The Montemita had a power play.
Yeah. And it was a rebound and then a pass. Yeah.
Nice pass.
It was a really nice pass. 3-0 deep in there, halfway through the third period or so. Can you back up a trailer on a car?
Never done it.
Attached?
I've never done it, and I think that would be a struggle for me.
Yeah. Sauce couldn't. Hawk probably could. I give Hawk a lot of credit.
It seems like, we're saying the same things for each person.
Each guy, right.
I am wondering if, wasn't Guardsy doing kind of the RV stuff for a while? Was he having to haul anything? I
don't think I don't think you have anything, if you want to hook up a car to the back, you can. How about
the trailer? You're just doing everything the opposite way, correct?
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Can you parallel park?
Oh, yeah.
I can too. I love parallel park.
Though on my driving test when I was 16, I did get 0 for 8 on that part. It was worth 8 points. And I just got to the point where I didn't want to hit the cone and fail.
Sure.
I don't want to fail the test, so I just stopped. I'm like, we'll pass the rest of the test. So I did not get a point on my parallel parking.
I told you what I did to baby brother, to Deuce, didn't I? We went behind the old Red Rock Elementary School. Because now this was winter because his test would have been, he was a January 1st baby. So I set up, I had a couple of, those styrofoam floaties, the tubes, the noodles?
Yeah.
I had those stuck in a couple of buckets and packed something around them, and I had Deuce trying to practice how to parallel park over behind Red Rock Elementary, and he couldn't get the hang of it. So I said, the heck with that. Let's go up to the lake shops because they have regular parallel parking there. I said, let's just do some real parallel parking. He goes, with real cars? I go, yeah, you may as well find out how to do it for real. So he learned to parallel parking between other people's cars. Well, you see, because here's my logic. I mean, obviously, if he blows it and smacks into a car, I'm in trouble, right? But when you have real cars there, your focus is like razor sharp, right? Because he's in the car thinking, I can't blow this because I can't hit another car, and he passed.
And it's more realistic.
It's more realistic.
You just have the barrels sitting there. Like, it's not what it looks like when I'm doing this for real.
That's exactly right. Now, baby brother Peter, the first time he ever drove with
it's like the difference between a tackling dummy and actually tackling someone for real.
That's exactly right. Now, baby brother Peter, the first time he ever got behind the wheel of a car, you know what I did? We were at the Holiday over in Cottage Grove, the gas station. I said, all right, get in the car. He goes, what? Get in the car. We're going to go drive. So his first time driving was out on the road, and then I had him go out on I had him go out on 61 right away and then onto the 494. So he'd never driven a car before. He's flying down 494 doing 65, 70 miles an hour. He was terrified. My wife couldn't believe I did it. She said, I should have
started with the highway?
Yeah.
You should probably start with the 30 mile per hour streets first.
Get right out there. Let's drive it like you ain't got a dime in it, son. You can change a flat tire, right?
Yes. I've done it multiple times.
Yeah, me too. Sauce? Are we going to have the same answers? Sauce, no. Hockey, yes. Cove, no. Nordo, yes. JG, no. PA, no. Barrero, no. Right?
Yeah, every answer is the same.
I guess they all are. Can you jumpstart a car?
Yes.
Everybody's got to be able to know how to jumpstart a car.
No, I bet you there's a lot that you'd be surprised.
How about roll a joint? Could you roll a joint?
I will say with the jump starting the cars, sometimes where you're supposed to put your cables on, they make it very challenging. Why can't they make it easier access to?
It's hard to get to.
And label it.
Yeah, it's hard to get to, and then it's just the screw or whatever the
hanging.
Post. Yeah, the post you're going to put it onto, the clamp sometimes won't stick to it. You know, it can be tricky. Can you roll a joint?
Never tried it, so no.
I can roll them with one hand.
Meat sauce, yes.
Meat sauce, yes.
Max, yes.
Max, yes. Helvey, he likes the dope too,
yes.
right?
I bet you PA can.
Yeah. Barrero, no.
Rosen can, we know that.
Yeah. Barrero, no. JG, no. Hawk, probably, right? He's a rock star.
I'd say Hawk, yeah. I'd say Nordo, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. Can you iron clothes?
Yeah. Though we have made the change in our house from an iron to a steamer.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, because the iron, I know when you're doing your golf, mostly what I iron is golf clothes.
Right. Me too.
Right? And I know you got to have it to the certain fabric, but sometimes I've had times where the iron ruins my golf clothes. So it leaves like a mark on it, and then you're like, I can't wear it again.
You have to be very careful.
So we've gone the steaming route. Yeah. It's a little more gentler on the golf clothes.
I could work. I guess it was because, my parents were from Hibbing. They were in, I was going to do the iron and steel joke, but it's not even funny. Here's one. I know you can. I don't just know how good, but play poker. You can play poker. I can play poker. Cove can play poker. How about the rest of the guys? I mean,
what do you mean by can play? But like just know the rules?
Well, know the rules.
Well, PA can. I've played against PA.
Yeah.
Nordo, of course, can.
Yeah. Sauce probably can, right? Or no?
I bet you hockey can't. Well, hockey's been in a casino or two.
I don't think Barrero could. Maybe he does. Maybe he's a card sharp. I don't know. How many aren't he good at it? We already know that if they didn't call it Hold'em, they'd call it what, Tenna?
Common.
I appreciate that. Can you open a bottle without a bottle opener?
I'm never in that situation because I don't know if you know this or not. I don't drink.
No.
Have you heard that?
No, I can't. Have you ever seen anybody open a bottle with their teeth? We always had a couple of guys that could do that back in my Haight-Ashbury days, and I was like, why would you even do that?
How are their teeth these days?
Probably not very good. I don't know why they would do it. Yeah, what you have to do is depending upon the handle on a kitchen drawer, you put it under there and opens up that way. That works. I've had to do it before. I mean, put it this way. If you have a beer and no opener, you'll find a way to open it. Trust me. There's always a way to do it. Can you ride a motorcycle?
Never done it. I'd like to think I can. I've done the video game version at like
Right.
the arcade.
It's same like it's kind of like driving a car with a clutch. Same, you just got to know how to do the clutch thing. That's all. Keep your balance.
Oh, it's not like automatic?
No. You got to.
It's not just a button that you push with your finger,
Well,
with your thumb?
maybe some motorcycles are that way now. I don't know. But back when I would ride a motorcycle, Yamaha 250, you would have to actually. And I never rode motorcycles very often because I was terrified of them. I didn't trust myself. I don't trust the other drivers out on the road. Can you tie a necktie?
Yes.
Yeah. Sauce would probably accidentally hang himself if he tried. Thank you.
I don't do like the really super nice Windsor knot.
Right.
So I wouldn't say it's the best looking tie, but.
Could you operate a chainsaw safely?
I have done a chainsaw
There you go.
in my yard. I don't like doing it. It kind of scares me.
Yeah,
holding
I don't
onto
like
that
it
thing.
either. No, I don't like it either. But
Because
I
I
know
just
how to operate
one miss.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Can you put a chain back on a sprocket that's come off on a bike?
Yes.
Yeah, I can too. Do you think any of the other guys can? There's a little bit of a trick to it. I mean, you got to do it.
Well, everyone had a bike when they were growing up.
I don't know.
Everyone had to do it when they were a child.
Did they? And all of us know how to change a diaper. Meat Sauce just joined that group, right? Because he probably didn't know how to do it before he had a kid. We all can do that because we're all fathers, right?
I hope so.
I would hope so. And the final one tend to be.
Do you think there's anyone on this air staff that never changed a diaper and just had their significant other do it every time?
Ooh, I don't even know why I want to. I don't know if I want to venture down that road, man, because that would be to me that would be almost wrong, wouldn't it? I mean, you got to help out in the diaper change.
I agree.
I had one other for you. Could you set up a campsite? Like, could you?
No chance.
You couldn't pitch a tent.
No.
Do you know that when you pitch a tent, though, if you do, that you're supposed to dig a little ditch all the way around it, so in case it rains at night?
Oh.
Because if it rains at night and you don't dig a little ditch like that, your sleeping bag will be soaking wet. You might even drown. So you got to do that.
Is the ditch inside the tent? Or
No,
just
on the outside.
On the outer edge of it?
Yeah, all the way around it, so that if it rains, the water pools there and collects. It's a trick you got to know, I'm telling you. You could start a campfire, couldn't you?
I mean, if I had like a match.
Yeah. How about shine your shoes?
Like a professional?
Yeah.
No.
I used to shine my shoes. My golf shoes, I shined them. I used to shine them before every single round. Now with the kind of golf shoes you have now with the new materials, right? I don't think anybody's shining shoes. It was dress shoes you used to shine. Matter of fact, are there even any shoe shine stands at airports anymore? Do you remember back?
They're still there. I don't know how often.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how often they're used because even, I guess as a business traveler, you probably wear dress shoes, but I just don't know how many people dress up like that anymore that would be worth your while to have a stand set up there.
I would just take all those out and just put like a little putting green there. So I can practice some putting while I'm waiting at the airport.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. So those are just some of the things I was wondering about. I actually, another goal? No, breaking news. Sorry, I thought that wasn't the goal sounder, Common. You'll get it figured out.
There's a couple NFL things. One, DK Metcalf, wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, has apparently requested a trade from the team, and that the team is willing to listen, so he might be on the move at some point.
Let me ask you this. Where is he in his career? He is on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being JJ, 1 being he should retire. Where would you put Metcalf?
The 1 is the JJ?
No, 10's JJ.
10's JJ.
1's retire.
He's an 8.
Oh, so he's that good.
He's a quality receiver, yeah.
All right, very good.
He's a legit, number 1 receiver on a team.
Oh, so he'll be attracting you would think, some attention. Okay, very good.
And then the other thing is, speaking of JJ, remember when he used to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the National Football League?
Not anymore?
Not anymore. The Raiders are making their star edge rusher, Max Crosby.
Wow.
Highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, 3-year deal worth $106.5 million, $91.5 million guaranteed, so he'll be making $35.5 per year. Until Jamar Chase will now get over that.
I used to be the Max Crosby of Coon Rapids Athletic Association football. just too small to play. Someone asked me a question. It says, Common, can you fillet a fish? Yeah, just go to McDonald's. Sure. That's not that hard to do. Go ahead. Yeah, but I thought you were going to get Deuce singing. Give me back my fillet fish.
I can get to that too.
Yeah. That's what I would do.
Give me that fish. Give me the fish. Let me get all that fish. Give me the fish. What if it were you hanging up on the floor? And if it were you and that sounds, you could feel it all.
Then someone wanted to know, Tennessee, could you get in the boxing ring with a 125-pound female fighter?
I used to be able to, yes. Yeah. I don't know if I still can.
No, I think you're a little shop worn and the reflexes are shot, but that's another story.
I agree.
So. It's 3-0. Cathedral leads Matamidi. Just under 6 minutes to go. Class A first round, a quarterfinal game. Other side of the break, 5-3-4. Tenna, what she got?
Hey, both the Wild and the Wolves were winners.